Folks, we're back. And we got more of these hot quarters you love so much. Let's hit that song.
We're in it.
Oh,
Alex is dancing.
yeah. Through God, anything is possible. Welcome to Quarrators.
Do you start with "To God, anything is possible"
Today,
every podcast?
Apparently we are.
It's a new direction I'm taking for the show. Yes.
Yeah, that's something I came up with because I believe that through God anything is possible.
Jeremy is my writer. I do not say things without him writing them
Did I
first.
sign up for an evangelical podcast accidentally?
We have religious questions.
Wouldn't it be
ask
funny
you.
if we started obeying and joining the church?
There is a thing through this podcast where Alex is trying to convert me to Catholicism, I think.
I think it'd be really good for our numbers and a lot of fun.
If I went to church.
We get a lot of clout if we just baptized you.
Do you like selectively choose quoras that slowly lead him down the path of righteousness? Is that what
It
the
has
strategy
come
is?
up. It's organically come
It
up.
has come up a few times.
I don't think I'm selecting them so much as the Lord himself.
Sure. It's
Right.
In his
predetermined.
through you.
In his divine wisdom has chosen these quoras and
Anything through him? No.
through him anything is
Okay,
possible.
I'm learning.
We all said it. Welcome back to the show. It's Quarrators, the show where we read quoras and we ask, what is quora?
What is it?
I'm starting it now. Hello, it's me, Alex, and my old pal, Jeremy Kaplowitz. Jeremy, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We have a very exciting guest this week. Mega Pastor
That's right.
from New York City. He's a man with the plan, and it's great having him here in my kitchen. Of course, we're talking about Phil Jamesson.
For a second, I
everybody.
thought
Come
you
on.
might have forgotten
Hello.
Phil's name.
No, we got
The
it.
muttering on the Phil was like a little suspicious.
I was
there.
like-
it sounded like you were trying to like make sure. You're like, I can't lose credit for it because
I was on a podcast
Jameson.
once, like a New York City podcast, New York City comedians, people like we've all done shows with many times. Hopefully
Right.
they're not listening to this. They introed me on the podcast, Jared Kaplowitz.
Oh my gosh.
That's not even kind of your name.
Nope.
Jared.
Yeah, no.
Nothing
Got
about you
a
is like
syllable.
a Jared.
They got Kaplowitz right, though.
That's the thing. I think he was much more confident of Jamesson than he was of the Phil.
on
He hit
their,
the Phil real soft and the Jameson real hard. He said, Phil Jameson.
You know what it is I knew it was Jameson, but I wasn't sure it's pronounced Jameson or like Jameson or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Jameson.
I
It's
could have
not,
had more
yeah,
confidence about it, and it is something that will be keeping me up nights. But
Yep.
Phil, you love the internet, is that right?
That is, I'm on it all the time. I don't know if I love it.
Huh.
I think it's just a problem.
Do the prisoners love the prison that holds them every day?
I think that's the question you're asking me right now.
You love being a prisoner. You're there all the time.
You've been there for 25 years since you murdered that woman.
That's right. And that's also why I'm on the internet. Because I'm
Court
trying
ordered.
to find court ordered. Yes, that's right.
The court said you had to tweet one little joke every day.
That's right.
Just to stay relevant.
And I never thought it would grow to be this. So thank you so much to that judge.
Thank you. Don't let the algorithm bury you.
He's your manager in a way.
You know what looks to be a curse initially is actually a blessing.
Yeah.
And through God,
All things are possible.
Through God, all things are possible. Phil, I gotta ask: have you been on Quora before?
What's your relationship
I
to Quora?
have been on Quora, not on purpose. It's
Sure.
I think you look stuff up, and then Google selects the questions and treats it like it's real information.
Yeah.
And then it shows you the answer, and you go, "Oh, that was from Quora.
That was from
wasn't-
some guy.
That was the first person who answered, and nobody else answered that question."
The unreliable answer I found appears to be from Quora. Let's not go back here.
I've found myself on Quora more now. I don't know if it's just because I'm Googling it more often, but like I'm on there all the time, I feel like.
Do you feel like you're on it like once a week or so?
I feel like very funny, but I do feel like recently I've been like actually looking for answers to questions that I'm like, well, this guy on Quora, I know that I
This
have a
guy's a
podcast
doctor.
saying it's bad.
It definitely does feel different when there's someone that is willing to put their name to
Yeah.
the answer, even though it's not better information.
Quora low-key hits different when answers are the vibe.
I'm always saying that.
We only I don't know if you're following the show. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at you directly. I'm doing stage positioning
That's right,
here.
yeah, no,
Always
you're doing
cheating to the crowd.
No, you're doing great. I know you're talking to me.
I feel like I'm in Hamilton being like, have you been on Quora? It can be a lot of fun, but it's weird. Yeah, we have one segment so far we do every week, and we like to start the show with it, and that's where we ask a Quora at the end of the show and then see
If anyone answered
how the
it.
community has responded.
Yes.
So
we
this is last show's.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
And
we
at the end
did
of this
this
one,
one.
we'll do a new question.
we have 4 answers on our Quora from last week, which is very
Whoa.
exciting for us.
Wow.
It's a lot of answers, and I think it's because we asked a question that people are looking to answer.
Before
It's
you
like-
tell me what it was, I remember us doing it and me having low confidence we were going to get any traction on this.
I think this
Quora
is
is
a question.
good.
Yeah, Quora is great.
No, four is good.
4 is very
Quora
good for us.
Sucks, dude.
No, Quora. no, this is good because
Quora
this
is good.
We asked the question that I think a lot of people are like excited to answer because maybe it has affected them in their lives.
Okay. Right.
And the question, of course, is if I was circumcised as an adult, would my pleasure increase or decrease?
Wait, no, I did think this one was hot. This was a good one.
And there are 1 or 2 people who are like, I was circumcised recently. It feels a lot better now.
What?
No, let me see. There was
that
one
true?
person who said that they have been. Yeah, this guy, Paul Jones, he typed this out on January 6th.
Fake name.
January 6th.
Paul Jones.
Paul
no,
Jones.
No shot. That's his real name.
He's evading the government.
He said, I was cut as an adult and greatly prefer it. I wouldn't take it back even if it could be miraculously restored. And then he gave like stats where he said,
Stats!
he said about 1/3 of men who are cut as adults experience an increase. And then he said, he's repeating this, so I'm not going to just say the same thing over
An
and over.
increase in what?
It says in sensation and pleasure.
Oh, in pleasure?
Yeah.
In the pleasure zone?
And he said 1/3 have no change and 1/3 experience a decrease, which I feel like is not very scientific.
is-
and it's just like,
Well, yeah. Not only is it not scientific, it also means nothing.
Yeah.
Because it averages out to 0.
Yeah.
As a scientist, I'd say all kinds of shit happens when you do that.
it's very like 50% it happens, 50% it doesn't.
He definitely asked 2 friends.
I'd
And
say,
they all got their circumcision together.
Yeah.
Like last month.
Bachelor party.
I'd say being circumcised as an adult is about 15% pleasure, 20% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
I would agree with that.
All right, I'm gonna read some more of these. Nicolette FN, whose job says hooked up with cut guys and doctors, which I don't think
That's
is
her
a job.
job?
This is a man. Apparently his job is also race car tester. I don't know if this man
This
telling
is
the
a
truth.
really cool
His name
Quora
is
user.
Paul Jones. He's a race car tester, and he knows a lot about circumcision pleasure.
When I'm not
You know
on
what?
the track, I'm getting holed out over at the gas station.
You know what? I'm realizing there's a scrambled eggs in here. We've told our listeners to write scrambled eggs if they're going to answer our Quoras because they couldn't handle not answering them.
Right,
Yes.
right.
And
So
I
this
think
is from
this
a
is a
listener.
good, this is a fine system, and
I
we
think
should
that's
support it.
Yeah, I think that's really good because otherwise you'll get people trying to trick you.
It's
Yes.
going to be confusing. So again, if you are answering our questions, write scrambled eggs in the
Yeah,
answer.
so this is from a listener. Should we still read it?
Yeah.
It's a fun answer. I know a lot of young people who are looking for that next adrenaline rush, but I don't think circumcision is the best way to get it. Something that isn't talked about outside of the circumcision community is that the most clumsy and absent-minded med students get shuffled into the circumcision program, resulting in a greater than 50% loss of the penis and balls per circumcision. Anecdotally, I'd had my eggs scrambled, there it is, by a number of circumcised guys, and fella, they didn't have much left to work with down there.
See, this is
thanks
fun
for-
because we know it's fake, but somebody else is reading this and is like, 50% lose your dick and balls?
Somebody is like
50% of my balls, I have to give one up.
yeah, one ball or half of each.
I'm really reconsidering
stick with
converting to
one.
Judaism.
I don't see any other scrambled eggs.
Okay.
Rob McLean says a friend had himself circumcised as an 18-year-old for aesthetic reasons.
Right.
What other? I guess religious.
Religious. maybe
Religious,
if
I
you're-
feel like, has got to be the
Number one.
big reason.
Or if you're a pain hog.
As a baby, I did it for aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's why I chose it. I was like,
Well, you have to look your best.
I gotta look my best.
Yeah.
He thought a circumcised penis somehow looks sexier. Now he bitterly regrets it, and he estimates that he has lost 75 to 80% of the sensation he once had. Some adults will deny his experience, but to my mind, if they were circumcised as a result of the physical problem for that, I don't want to read the rest of this. This is dumb.
Yeah, so
Let's
wait.
move on.
Yeah, so I'm also noticing you picked a Quora that says don't get circumcised essentially.
Yeah.
And you're trying to look, I'm just saying this is
That is
harkening
funny
back to
how it worked
converting.
out that way.
Interesting.
That's
interesting.
very interesting.
It
I
does-
regret being Jewish.
It kind of it does seem like the numbers are not in your favor, Jewish community.
Yeah, well, only 1/3 are.
I guess redemption is the only option. We'll have to read some chorus today and find out. We don't have any religious ones queued up today. It's just a total misdirect.
Oh, I will say someone else is yelling at this guy. Someone said that guy talking about his, quote, friend losing 80% to 90% of his sensations of his penis makes no sense. It's like when someone lies and then says, I know this because my friend told me. What?
It is.
Wait, did they write what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not add that. That was not me.
This is a trend I'm noticing is that one of the big new rebuttals online is just writing the word what. It's becoming more and more like real human speech.
Yeah. What?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
This is making my point stronger to write the word what?
It's very hurtful to read the word what.
Yeah.
Because it makes you wonder, like, did I write it wrong? It's not like I was talking out loud and flubbed the sentence. Like, I typed this out.
Do we want to keep talking about penises or should we move on to a different chorus topic?
Let's never discuss penises again.
Okay.
Let's see how long we get. What time is it right now?
Like time-wise, we're in the podcast. We're 11 minutes in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, 11 minutes in.
3:47.
The next time a penis
PM.
comes up, I want a time check.
Okay.
And I want it stat.
Okay.
There's an audio here.
Oh, yeah, we're going to fix that for Phil. We're going to fix that right up.
You're good. Oh, beautiful.
You're back in the game? Oh, yeah,
Those
Phil.
dulcet tones.
It's so nice.
Are back.
Don't you feel so powerful when you hold a microphone? It's like holding a penis. Ah, God damn it.
Dude.
That does not count. You did that on purpose.
The next Quora.
The microphone test works. It's all sounded good.
Is does a microphone
Feel like a
penis in your hand?
Sure does.
Okay.
And there are also 4 answers. 1/3 said yes.
1/3 said no change.
No change in whether it felt like a penis in my hand.
My microphone still feels like a microphone.
So, Phil, we have a cartoon together about monkeys working in an office. So I have found some animal-related quoras and workplace-related quoras.
Uh-oh.
So these
That's
are
a really
relevant
good idea.
to us.
That's good.
I hope you two don't monkey around too much on our podcast. Ha ha
The
ha.
amount of times we thought about naming this cartoon Monkey Business. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. And you decided not to do that?
We did not call it that.
Did you get any notes from Adult Swim when you were pitching the Shakespeare Monkeys show? Were they just like, I think the monkeys should be rats or something like?
Yeah, they kept pitching that the monkeys should be
Kept
rats.
pitching it. They said the rats. It's got to be rats.
It's got to be
man.
rats. And, it's a rat race. It's not the monkey race.
They had notes, but none that are like funny to say. They just
Yeah,
had
no,
like
it was
good
just like,
notes.
yeah, good notes, or just like, oh, you could go in this direction if you wanted
Yeah.
to.
Right. I love getting notes from the executives at Adult Swim. they have the smartest people on staff, and I just love to hear from
Their
them.
big note to us was like, maybe smoke a little reefer before you write this next one.
Not crazy enough.
It's not wacky enough.
And it's crazy because the audience picked up on it.
Oh,
Every
yeah, big
comment,
time.
These guys must have been on drugs to
yeah.
come up
And we
with
were.
these jokes.
because if you're not on drugs, the idea of even a monkey talking is like, that would just be too absurd.
It doesn't, like, I'm having difficulty thinking about it right now.
Yeah. It's hard to
And
imagine.
I'm very high. So,
Yeah.
like, I had to be really high.
We took
at
a
the
lot of
time.
drugs.
To imagine a monkey in an office setting is deeply disturbing to the sober mind.
It's an upsetting thing to do. We were like the Beatles.
Maybe I don't know, in an office that tests on monkeys. Maybe
Sure.
puts
Elon
shampoo.
Musk thing.
Yeah, but Elon Musk monkey torturing industry, or
Yeah.
a shampoo company that puts chemicals on them until they go blind, something like that, like a normal industry. But for them to actually be working there,
One of the cool jobs.
Regular corporate America.
Speaking of which, I have a question for you. And the question is fishing cruel to fish?
interesting.
What do you think? Is fishing cruel to fish?
So I do remember being told as a child, I don't know if did this come up on the podcast before, that when you have the hook all the way in the fish's mouth, that they don't have any nerves in their mouth, so they can't feel it. And that is decidedly completely made up.
Is that true?
And they just tell you that. Yeah, it's a fucking hook in its head. Of course
yeah.
it feels it. But is it
they don't
cruel
like it?
or do they deserve it, I guess is the question.
Yeah, I mean, how are we going by the word cruel?
Yeah, what does
Are we
cruelty
saying
mean?
is fishing nice to fish? Because I don't think it's
Not,
nice.
they're not loving it.
It's definitely, at least at maximum, it is neutral.
Sure.
And it is probably not neutral to be pulled out of air.
One could argue. One could argue that it is a form of taking care of business. And is that cruel?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. That it could be argued.
I'm working overtime at the goddamn swimming hole, pulling these fish out of the water.
Does the question include any context? Is
the whole question is just this: Is fishing cool to fish? And I'll say the answers aren't super funny, but all of them are like 10,000 words of people being like, "This is the most important thing I've ever discussed."
Are they? They're all yes. I'm guessing.
No, I don't. No, they're not all yes.
They're not all. Can you read it? No.
Industrial tuna fishermen who have killed many dolphins. Like they're all like, no, it's completely fine, and stop asking questions.
One really long one is, these types of discussions drive me crazy because the answer is, it doesn't matter. Which feels cruel.
I forgot the first rule of Quora, which is not answering the original question to say a different thing you wanted to say anyway.
Who cares?
The politician media training, but on Quora. That's where they warm up. That's where politicians warm up before interviews.
Yeah.
Is it cruel to kill fish? Well, I think this legislation package is really going to target. It was really important areas.
Fish are important animals that live in our ocean. And in fact, the definition of fish is up in the air. A lot of people think that fish don't exist because of the different categorization of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, right.
Trump does hate sharks. That's a real thing.
Sharks are a kind of fish.
Speaking of politicians and fish, I don't know why I've just figured this up, but I always think of the Trump thing where he does like a stand-up routine about sharks.
Really?
He's just like, they called me up. They were like, save the sharks. I was like, they're not good. I don't like them. I don't need to save them.
That's a really good point, though.
Yeah.
Back to the fish.
Okay, yeah.
Can
Let me read more of this
for
answer.
one goddamn second.
This guy, Richard Pierce, I'm going to just skip around because his so long, his answer. But his thing is like very much like, we are more important than the fish, which I think is funny. But he says it like an anime villain where he's like, asking if fishing is cruel to fish is akin to asking if putting a worm on the hook to catch the fish is cruel to the worm.
Yes,
it doesn't matter. It's a worm. It's a fish. Is it cruel to swat a fly or mosquito? Is it cruel to kill a mouse or rat that is in your house? No, it is irresponsible not to. All are disease vectors, and catching and releasing any of them outside just pushes the problem onto someone else.
My goodness.
Yeah, I actually saw this answer, and when he said, "Don't you see?" That's where I got.
We're all fish and we're all worms, and we need to merge our minds into one singularity.
Do you think they tagged the Nietzsche community when they posted the question? You get to pick which different people answer.
At the end, though, he gives so many words on this, and at the end he says, all that considered, I do believe it is possible to be cruel to animals, even insects such as a fly.
That is the opposite of what you just said.
Wait. I would like to follow up with you, Richard Pierce. I would like you to tell me if swatting a fly or putting a worm on the hook is not cruel, what would be?
So he has an answer to this.
Okay.
Swatting and killing a fly is okay, but pulling the wings off a fly is not.
Okay, what about piercing a worm through a hook and then putting it underwater for a fish to get?
Keeping a fish in an aquarium is okay, but keeping a fish and not caring for it properly is not. Catching a fish and releasing it is okay, but catching a fish and throwing it on the ground to die is not okay.
These are the rules.
No one asked that.
These are the rules.
Okay, so you have to let it go for it to not be cruel.
Yeah. No, I think he's probably okay with you eating it, but he's
you
like,
have
it
to be
is
very
cruel.
efficient with your kill.
Yeah.
If you're efficient with your kill, the less less gasping for breath on deck, then it's okay.
He says it's not okay if you catch a fish and throw it on the ground.
That's interesting that the line of morality just falls exactly where what he does.
Yeah. A classic conundrum. It's bad what people do that I don't, but if I do it, it's okay.
If you do a little more than me, that's wrong. If you do a little less, that's fine.
One person has a really long answer that I think is saying it is cruel, where he says, okay, picture this. You're sitting in your house in the kitchen. Before you is the juiciest steak you've ever seen. You cut off a chunk, shove it in your mouth, and bite it down. A big hook, like the round part of a clothes hanger. We don't know what hooks are, R.J. Holland. Goes through the roof of your mouth, causing unbelievable pain. But it doesn't stop there. Oh, no. And you are suddenly pulled up through the roof of your house. We know what fishing is.
That is so funny. He literally can't imagine that anyone knows what fishing is. Like, he has to put it as a juicy steak.
It goes so long.
Imagine
fishing is
this.
cruel.
You walk down the stairs in the morning. You take a shower. You get out of the shower. You make your breakfast. It's like, yeah, it's living before then, too. We get that part.
This is like a novel. He says, my dad taught us how to fish. My older twin sisters and I would go in the boat with Dad, and he'd show us how to fish. But Tracy thought it was mean to the fish and do everything in her power to not let us catch one. Thump on the bottom of the boat. Sing loudly. Do a screechy squeal. Why are you making that noise? I'm warning the fish. It's fish talk. Yes, right up into her high teens, Tracy protected the fish. It's like,
Who is Tracy?
publish a blog.
Who is Tracy?
No one knows who you're talking about.
The question was, is it cruel?
And it keeps going. So think of it. You grab a juicy worm that was once content and doing what worms do, whatever that is, eat and poop, I guess. You don't even know.
Don't bring the worm into it.
Do marine animals experience pain? He's like, Tracy protected the fish.
It was a stormy day on the boat with my father and my sister Tracy.
The year was 1974.
Anyway, yeah, he goes on to say that fishing is cruel.
Oh, wait. Here's the one thing I want you to comb through for the answers. Do we have any cops being like, cop
I
here?
will look for a cop.
This reminds me of the time I was on the beat at the fishing wharf.
I will say that eventually at the very end of this long thing with all these quotes and all caps answers and blah, 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 he says, but yes, I do believe fishing is cruel to the fish. Tracy sure does, yet she eats tuna. Man can't live
Who
on
the fuck is
greens
Tracy?
alone.
Who is Tracy?
Man
sister,
can't
I guess.
live on greens alone.
And then there's a picture of a shark.
Man can't live on greens alone, Jeremy.
He says, man
Grow
can't.
up.
I can't, but I do enjoy some nice pickerel frying in the pan. Besides, what do sharks do to humans? Dad, that's right. Is that cruel to us? You're darned right.
That's not what the... Okay, all right. Well, I don't want to hear about this ever again.
Okay. I don't
I've
see
lost
any,
the high I had from discussing the Catholic Church at the beginning.
I can't find any cops, unfortunately, who's like, I've never killed a fish, but I've killed a man.
I take it cops like to answer Quoras.
They're
Yeah.
all over Quora for whatever reason, and usually in the ghosts-related areas. So I thought maybe they would be appearing in fishing.
No.
Q fishing.
The thing about fish is that they're quite tasty, and they're fun to catch.
For real.
Okay, this is a question sent in by Matthew Rapé, and I'm going to move on. This is our second... Sorry, what's up? Hit it.
Well, I was going to wait till the right
sorry.
time. Let's get it out of the way,
This
though.
is another
That was
animal one.
honey.
This is another animal one. And the question is, if a goose attacked me, could I punch it in self-defense?
Yeah, you could totally punch a goose.
Like legally?
I don't know. The question is morally, legally, or physically, right?
Did a goose write this?
A goose being like, no, it's actually, you cannot. Goose will kill you if you do this.
This
Show
guy,
me
this
your-
guy's dating a goose, and the goose attacked him, and they're in a big fight because he punched the goose back.
Show me your privilege without saying you're privileged. You punch a goose and you think it's okay.
Geese are intense, though, right? They
guy's
beat
just-
you up.
Geese
Yeah,
are
geese
the,
are scary.
they're the closest thing we have to dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Actually, I think
so.
chickens technically are. Or no, to the T-Rex, yes. But in general, birds at large, they're dinosaurs.
Can we ask that on Quora?
Sure.
What's the closest thing to a dinosaur?
Yeah, absolutely, we can. We can find this
I've-
out.
I'd like to know.
All right, as a group, we are all remembering to ask at the end of the show, what is the closest thing to a dinosaur?
Okay, I'm down.
People are going to say the chicken. But yeah, geese, turkeys. Turkeys are little...
Turkeys are
Little munchkins. I hate them.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, they're munchkins.
They're munchkins in parentheses epithet.
So if you were fighting a goose, would you punch it?
If I was like on purpose, like I'm trying to go punch a goose.
I
That's
think
what you're saying.
I don't know.
Would you punch
Maybe,
it?
maybe
a goose is coming at me.
Yeah.
and I need to
you have
decide what to do.
Yeah, fight or flight.
Flight for sure.
Yeah, you think you're running?
I'm running.
You're trying to get high. Maybe.
I feel like a goose would be fast, but I feel like it just wants me to get the fuck away from it. You know, I don't think it wants to kill me.
Yeah.
But maybe it does. I don't know. I'll run for a while.
Yeah.
And I'll do a shoulder glance.
I think I'm trying to grab its neck. I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Oh,
doing,
the
'cause they got
neck
those
is the
long
big
necks,
weak spot for
and
a
I'm
goose.
swinging it above my head.
Going full chicken farmer.
Yeah.
mode.
It's probably a little heavier than you're guessing. I'm not sure you're going to
I'm a-
have
I'm
the
a big
raw
strong man.
strength to throw a goose
I
up
feel
in
like-
the air like that.
I feel like geese are probably pretty good with their necks, dude.
I thought I was going for gunshot.
I feel like geese are probably pretty evasive with their necks. I think they know that's
They're
a
quick.
spot. I bet they're gonna bite you
Yeah.
a couple times. I
They're
don't
all
think
trained
you're getting that neck.
boxers.
They're like goalies for their necks. Their heads are goalies for their necks.
First of all, punch is the wrong direction for a goose. You're going to want to use your giant leg, which is as big as the geese, and just boot that thing up.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I like the idea
Yeah.
of just punching it, though. It's
yeah.
so silly seeming.
Is it punching down to assault a goose?
I do feel like that's like a really like people talking about getting in a fight with an animal. They're like, just punch it in the face.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like the big thing they say. They're always obsessed with a punch in the face. But
Right.
I agree. I think you should be using your legs.
It's all about the legs when it comes
Get
to
big
goose
and
combat.
then crane kick them, dude.
I think
do
that's
a crane
smart.
kick.
I think that's smart.
That's why it's called a crane kick.
If you let out a bestial
Kill
yell,
the bird with it
Yeah, you could kill a crane.
in a deleted scene.
every kick is named after the size of bird you could take out with it.
One person said Connie Warren, who's a former tech support at Siemens, says like the
I know.
Siemens. She should have answered the fish question.
or the penis one.
Yeah. But
All right, what's the time? What's the time, Jeremy?
Nice.
27 minutes. So
Okay, so
16 minutes we went.
16 minutes is not bad.
Connie says, "I tell you 3 times, it is not good to. It's not a good idea to go toe to toe with a goose. If there's more than one
Don't
of
tell
them,
me 3
they'll
times.
take you down. And believe me, if toe to toe is a bad idea, face to beak is worse."
That's good.
A goose?
Wait, did she say it 3 times?
She did not say.
I
it 3
tell you
times.
3 times.
She says, "I
did
had an
not
aunt. I had an aunt and uncle who kept geese instead of dogs for protection, which is insane. When we visited, if us kids wanted to play outside, my aunt would hand us each a smallish stick as she ushered us out the back door. The last thing she would say was, 'Remember, watch your back.'" After I
Why
was
even
grown-
have these geese?
For protection?
Endangering your grandchildren.
What if they were like in the mob? They just had like little geese with fedoras.
a goose around. No, the money's safe.
They keep it in their feathers.
Okay, yeah, continue the
After
goose
I was
story.
grown, I asked her why they didn't get a couple dogs like everyone else. She just smiled and said the geese didn't do anyone any real harm, and they did love to kill rattlesnakes. As long as she had geese, she didn't have snakes. I immediately converted to a goose lover. Hey, it hit 500 upvotes. It's so weird. The answer's Quarrens choose to upvote. Quarrens.
Can you? She said. What? Can you repeat like the last?
I immediately converted to goose lover.
There was a little before that. She said something.
As long as she had geese, she didn't have snakes.
One before that.
She just smiled and said the
She
geese.
part
just
of this
smiled. There
answer?
we go. She just smiled.
Some part of this
You
seems
can't-
weird.
She gave like a long answer. You can't be like she just smiled and
Just
said,
smiled.
"Well, you see, the geese are avid
just
hunters
smiled.
of rattlesnakes and also our protection, and they never really harmed anybody." That's not that she just smiled.
She just let her smile do the talking, as well as her words, such as. Yeah, queer people are very weird. They're just bad writers. Like they want to
Yeah.
be writers so badly.
The person that wrote that is really trying to like add some spice to the dialogue, but it's not the appropriate spice.
It all feels like a monologue in a play. Like it's like telling their backstory.
A one-man show.
Yeah, it's definitely a one-man
It
show.
kind of sounded like it was written by a goddamn goose lover. man.
That's the name of the show. You can see it in Brooklyn. Goose Lover.
Goddamn goose lover.
Goddamn Goose Lover.
I'm not raising no damn goose lover.
Connie Warren, born, married, divorced, retired.
Thank you for your service.
That's her bio.
I don't
on
need your
Quora.
life story.
Come
Can
on.
I follow her for you? Do you care?
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. We followed her.
Is someone gonna? I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say update the job in like 30 years to the next step of the life cycle.
She has a bio. Like, you know how on Twitter you can have a bio that's like 50 words long or whatever, 50 characters long?
Yeah.
She has like an essay in her bio that's like her whole career.
Oh,
So that's very nice.
well, I don't want to dox her here, but
No, we don't need to read her bio. It's not
okay,
that
what are
interesting.
people saying about these geese?
Yeah, okay. Other things about the geese.
Stop goosing around
I live in
and
an
get to the
area.
geese.
This is from Alan Chi. I live in an area where idiots love feeding the geese bread and other junk. Today, while sitting outside, a pack of geese wandered towards me, and one broke off and literally charged me. I think he
Oh,
was trying to
shit.
scare me away from their usually grassy areas where they like to eat. It lunged for my crotch, and I kicked it with my heel on the top of the head. As much as I would love to just destroy these flying pests, they unfortunately are protected as migratory birds. Geese are generally disgusting animals that the only benefit they have is they scatter seeds around for plants. Also, if it sounds like I can't read, these are not written well.
Yeah.
The grammar is not great.
The number of like murderous psychos we've dropped into in the first 2 questions of this show is outrageous.
This person wants to
Geese
exterminate
are
them.
pests. Like pretty much wherever they are, they're like hated. They're loathed.
They may be tough, but they've got a lot to offer.
Is it legal to kill
Reconsider
geese?
the geese.
It's illegal.
It's illegal to kill geese.
Yeah,
wrong.
I would imagine. I mean, yeah,
It's
I don't know.
wrong.
Didn't people used to eat geese?
I imagine that. Well, there's
boiled goose like a thing.
Well, there's
Yeah.
a Christmas goose.
Right.
It sounds like something you would get in like a tavern in the Middle
Right,
Ages.
right. It feels like
With
Dungeons
like some
and Dragons
mead.
food.
Yeah. I was gonna say Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's my reference for Middle Ages.
Right.
I don't have any real
Neither
life.
one is real.
Yeah.
It was a real time for hundreds of years. Both of us are like games,
It's like George R.R. Martin.
books.
It makes me think of the Christmas story. Get a goose for Christmas Day.
He's trying to
You
fucking
boy.
convert me, dude. I
Go
want to
over-
talk
it's one
about
of the-
Game of Thrones, and he's trying to get me to talk about Christmas.
You're gonna love Christmas. Christmas, not even once.
You're addicted to Christmas.
Lock me up. I love the thing.
This is a very Jeremy answer. Gareth Roriston says, just grab it by the neck. They're always somewhat surprised, sometimes flapping a bit.
Don't fight Jeremy, by the way. He has one move. It's going right for your vulnerable neck.
This guy seems like he's done it before.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, they're always
yeah.
surprised.
Always surprised.
That does trigger the
They're not
geese
even
surprise
They're not
sound.
even trying to fight him. He's the reason
No.
all these other geese are aggressive. He's
says-
going around the country grabbing geese by the neck.
He ignored the
Riling 'em
self-defense
up.
part.
These geese are just going about their day. They're at the shopping mart looking for all their necessaries, and all of a sudden, they have their own quarrel where they're running. When men go for my neck, is it okay to peck at them?
This guy's
man.
coming through, grabbing 2 geese, swinging around like nunchucks, knocking them over.
Come on now.
Harry DeWolf, who's a poet, artist, and carpenter, says, I have taught my geese to respect a feint, usually a donkey kick, kicking out behind you. This isn't intended to make contact.
Geese to respect a feint.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Usually a donkey
F-E-I?
kick.
Of the
F-E-I-N-T?
4
What
jobs
is
you
that?
had, why are you keeping geese?
Well, he's trying to kick them.
Poet, carpenter, goose, murderer.
Geese that don't know you need to be dominated and quickly.
Okay.
The simplest
All right.
and most effective way is to advance rapidly towards them, leaning forward with your arms out, especially if you don't have a stick.
This is my kink.
Oh,
is goose
this is huge.
domination.
So wait, what do you do with a stick? Is it just you hit them
You
with
probably
it?
wave it, right? Maybe
Well, no,
hit 'em.
you're not afraid to bash a goose
You
every
gotta
now and
you
then.
gotta bash them.
You gotta bash it?
You
I
gotta
don't think-
bash
I don't
'em.
think there's a waving
Yeah.
technique. I don't think they're like dogs and cartoon dogs.
The tools are what separates men from the geese.
A goose, go fetch.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if that worked on a goose. A goose
Fetch?
fetch?
I don't know. They're
think you could teach a
vile
goose to
creatures.
fetch.
They're pests.
Goose fetch.
Yeah.
This guy also says, in any case, all caps, do not grab the neck.
Do not grab the neck.
Yeah.
Why?
Nice.
Well, so this is a mixed signals here. He says, you
Evasive
may
maneuvers.
severely injure or kill it, which is my goal. So,
Right.
fair enough.
Oh, in a fight or flight situation.
Yeah,
sure.
I am trying to severely injure or kill the goose. If
Okay.
he is trying to severely injure or kill the Jeremy.
Well,
Which is-
nobody kills the Jeremy.
No.
Here's the
Not
thing:
with a long neck, you don't.
if you are fighting a goose for pleasure, lift the neck out of it. Body blows, body shots.
I'm gonna post a clip of this online, and we're gonna get 50 comments that are like, "This man is killing animals. This man is an animal abuser."
It is not okay to body shot a goose.
I just want to say, I've never fought a goose. I have no intention of fighting a goose. But you put 2 of us in a ring,
Right.
fight to the death,
Right.
Roman style.
Jeremy asked this question.
Yeah.
He wanted to know,
Yeah.
is it okay to punch a goose if it attacks me?
You think they ever put geese in the Colosseum back in the day? Or is it
Probably
just,
for the joke round.
the joke round?
Well, Roman Coliseum, they had all kinds of funny rounds, like
Yeah.
when they would feed the Christians to the lions.
Oh, that's
really
so
dark
sad.
time
That's
for us.
so sad for them.
It was
Right,
not right.
right.
what they did with us in lions.
Is it like a lot better for Christians now, would you say?
I would say things have improved greatly, lion-wise at least.
That's also a big Quora question. I've never thought about it as a priest, but people do ask if they could fight a lion.
Yeah, you could.
You cannot.
You can certainly
You
not.
cannot.
I have no curiosity about this. I'm just an open and closed situation. The only way you can hurt a lion is if it's like we talked about this before. Prize trophy hunters go and like shoot sleeping lions, and it's like, well, you just shot a sleeping lion.
Yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah, you can't do that.
He's taking a nap, dude.
Yeah.
You interrupted his nap.
Imagine this. You're sleeping in front of a juicy steak. Then Donald Trump Jr. shoots you in the head with a shotgun.
Let me
But
read
it doesn't end there.
Tracy always wanted to be a lion. I want to read just like a few sentences from some, like not the whole thing, but one of these says, "There's no easy answer to this question," which I really like. One person says, "As long as a member of PETA is not a witness, yes, you can."
Shots at PETA. PETA, do not come on goosepunchers.quora.com.
Probably best to give it a kick or shove with your foot unless you're really, really short. Which I don't know what that means.
Well, because then your head level, you're ready to square off.
Okay.
Although if you're that big, do not fight a goose because they're really vicious.
Yeah, they will kill you.
Yeah, it's not safe.
Anyway, yeah, that's. Can you fight a goose? One guy killed a goose. He said he did grab it by the neck and killed it, and then said hashtag killed a goose in self-defense and cooked it up.
Let's get it trending. Hashtag I've physically murdered a goose.
Oh,
Hold on, we dropped off
Yeah.
Phil. Phil, what are you saying?
I love hashtags like that because like the point of hashtag was like the word market. Like if you had a show named Market,
yes.
you could be hashtag market so that people looking for just the word market didn't like
They could
there
find
was this
market.
differentiated. Nobody's looking
No.
for that shit.
This
That's
man,
18 words.
Well, if you are, there's a really strong guy you can relate to.
This guy posted an Instagram link, and I clicked it, and it is a photo of the cooked goose. Like in a bowl, like meat in a bowl, and the top comment says, "Just came from Quora. How did it taste?"
Is there an answer?
Let me
I want to
see.
know how that goose is. I have to imagine it's not good.
By the way, here's a link for anyone calling me a liar.
I imagine it's tough. It's not flavorful.
Goose?
And, yeah.
I've had goose.
You've had
Have
it?
you?
Yeah, like Chinese restaurants will give you goose.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's great.
Well, this guy
I've
says,
never had it. I've never even seen it.
All the birds.
Goose?
"Do you want to see it?"
You want to see a
Yeah,
goose?
I want to see it.
Hold
I'll
on,
take a
can I
look.
pull
Spin this baby around.
Boy,
This is a nightmare.
go
This is
All right,
not
never mind.
worth
This is
whatever.
I'll show you after.
Abandoned ship.
It looks like
Stop
meat
immediately.
It doesn't look good.
Looks like a pile of meat.
Yeah.
He said it was actually really good if cooked right. So I don't know what that means.
So it sucked, but he sees the potential.
I'm
the
going to
comments are
kill
from
more
Quora.
geese.
You can't say it was good if cooked right.
The
You
internet
didn't
is
cook
so
it right.
weird, dude. Like, it's just crazy that I could see photos of this man. Like, I just looking at him. I could go on his YouTube if I want.
Is it all right? Without going too much into detail, is he someone who looks like he, with his bare hands, murders geese?
Yes, 100%. He's like a rock climber, and one thing he's like dressed
Strong
as a
hands.
Viking. He's got a big
Grip
beard
strength for that
and
neck.
long curly hair.
Yep.
And
Yeah, he's killed a goose. You don't even have to keep going.
in his Viking photo, he did hashtag Sweden, hashtag Norway.
Okay. I'm getting a very vivid description of this goose murderer who fills me with disgust.
He seems to have Swedish in his Instagram bio, but he says that he lives in Wisconsin.
Yeah, this is just a type of guy.
This is
just
Yeah.
absolutely a type of guy.
you need to be near Wisconsin. Stay near the lake. Stay near the geese.
Okay, I'm gonna close that man's window. Do we have any other goose questions we want to ask before we move on from this?
No, I've been deeply unsettled by
Okay.
the last bit.
Let's get on to our workplace segment, the Workplace. And that is the workplace theme song. It is a gunshot. Everyone's
I don't want to go to this office.
Hey, as long as there aren't a bunch of monkeys running the place, am I
Hey, there it is.
We made a show like that.
We were so high.
right? Oh, I bet.
Okay, this question is it, quote, for fuck's sake or for fuck sake? It's for a work email, so it has to sound professional.
That's a joke question. This,
think it is?
this person's it's for a work email. So
It's
it
for a
has to
work email as
sound
a punchline.
professional.
Yeah. But I do want to answer grammatically.
Okay.
Fucks.
Is it fucks?
Yeah, it's the it provides ownership of fuck.
Yeah.
Right. It's possessive.
For fuck's sake.
Whose sake is it?
Fucks.
fuck.
But he doesn't have an apostrophe in there.
It's kind of.
Then he's wrong. He's wrong in both counts.
You see, the modern heretic has replaced God with fuck.
That's right.
And so instead of God's sake, we say fuck's sake because doing the deed is the new praying at the steeple.
That's right. Well, actually, isn't it less blasphemous? Isn't it better to say for fuck's sake?
Yeah, it is better, but the motivations are all wrong.
Feed him to the lions.
To the lions.
This question is probably a joke, but I do like that all of the... Also, I didn't even see this, but Quora has a warning, and it says, this question's wording makes it seem like a joke, which is very weird.
What?
Because it is a joke, Quora.
Anyway, all the answers do not think it's a joke. All the answers are very long.
Am I right or am I wrong?
What?
Is it for fuck's sake or for fuck's sake?
So Franklin Vo
For fuck's
says
sake.
neither one is correct. It's for fuck's sake. The apostrophe is important. Fucks is possessive, just as you might say for pity's sake or for Pete's sake. However, for a work email, you might be well advised to go with something more formal, such as for the sake of fuck. After all, work email is how you express yourself to your boss, subordinates,
and
and fellow
also
employees.
joking in the response.
Goddamn, not John Oliver style response to
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Do you have a John Oliver impression? Anyone?
No, I do
No one can
not
do
have
it.
a John
Okay.
Oliver impression, and I resent being asked.
Yeah, I hate when you just have such a vivid picture of someone,
know.
and you know as soon as you open your mouth, you're just gonna be like, oh, it's not gonna be
It's
close
not gonna be good.
whatsoever.
It's not
You're just
gonna be
gonna make
Is
a
it
noise.
okay to fight a goose? Yes.
No, Melanie, it's not.
There you go.
Go to donotfightthegoose.com. Yeah, I can't do it, but we tried.
Yeah, you guys were closer than I would have been.
Do you want to do it? You want to try it? You don't have to.
No,
You're a guest on our podcast.
God, now I have to do it.
You don't have to.
If you want to be cool,
What?
do it.
I have a theory that genuine attempts at an impression that's very bad are funnier than a good one.
I think you're right.
Rise up, bad impression gang.
Yeah, rise up.
That's what this
It's
whole
also
podcast is about.
Extremely convenient for me who cannot do impressions well.
Yes.
So that's great. Let's move on from these jokers.
Yeah, that I'm not here to joke around. I'm here to find truths.
Okay, well, this question is, if you were my, quote, boss at work, and you told me, quote, you can't use your cell phone on the job, and I said, quote, this is an open city. I've lived here for 15 years. I don't need anybody's permission for nothing. What would you respond with? Is this Tim Robinson?
If you were
Could you read it again?
my boss,
If you were my boss at work and you told me you can't use your cell phone on the job, and I said, this is an open city. I've lived here for 15 years. I don't need anybody's permission for nothing. What would you respond back
this
with?
is an open city.
This is an
Is that is that a free country?
It's a free country
So
for
wait.
the local level.
We're the boss, right?
A municipality is free within a country that is not.
He is asking. He's asking.
We're the boss.
We're the boss.
I think maybe this person had this interaction and is looking for us to back down.
Yeah,
in the
maybe.
comments, be like, we would apologize and say, you're the best worker that's ever lived. I'm sorry for causing you any distress at work,
Yeah.
where you do a great job. I think that's what they're on Quora for.
But what would I say? I think I would just be like, what?
I would say, what is an open city?
Why does living here for 15 years matter?
It's an open city.
It's not. What does that mean?
It's an open city. The open cities let you use your phone, I think.
You could go to McDonald's, I guess. I don't know. You could do things.
Who can go to McDonald's?
It's an open
The boss?
city.
It's an open city.
In an open city.
In an open city, you could go to McDonald's.
This isn't Judge Dredd.
It's not 2 a.m. Everything is open.
Maybe that.
New York City.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. If in New York City, it's always open.
The city,
city that's always
never
open.
doesn't let you use your phone.
The city
at
that's
work.
never going to night.
It's a free city.
What would you guys say? What would you say, Alex?
I would be like, please don't use your phone.
Fair enough.
Come on.
on,
I might
man.
say something like, come on.
Buddy.
I'd,
you doing?
I'd say, listen, as your boss at work, in quotes, I need to know what an open city is. I need you to explain this. to me.
Please tell me what an open city is.
Then we can move on.
What
to
is
the
a
phone.
closed city?
Let's put the phone on a back burner for now and figure this out.
So there's one answer on this. From Thomas Leonard, who is former criminal, now follower of Christ.
This
might
come
be
on
Alex.
the pod.
He says, I have been in such a situation. I do not believe you, Thomas.
That is how I ended up in jail.
I have been in such a situation.
I have been in such a situation.
I am a reasonable person and was a fair boss. My employees knew that respect was the cornerstone of customer service.
This guy was the worst boss that has ever lived. I can tell you immediately based on just that first sentence. This guy sucks.
This is a terrible boss.
man.
If you have to say you're a fair boss, you're an awful person.
And like talk about respect to me.
Yeah.
Like if the first thing you talk about is my employees knew about respect, you suck, dude.
They keep, what is it? It was the cornerstone of customer service, and they keep well and how I felt about it. I had an employee tell me, what? I had an employee once, I guess it's supposed to say.
I had an employee once.
Tell me he would do what he wanted. I told him to take a moment and reconsider his response because he was welcome to do what he wanted, but not on my job site and not while I was paying him. His response was rude and even more belligerent. I sent him home. I told him he was ready to be an employee. When he was ready to be an employee, we could talk. He came back the next day and apologized. He then asked if he was getting paid for a full day of work yesterday. I said, of course not. You get paid for the hours you work. He muttered something about it being unfair and called me a jerk. I asked him if he would prefer to work for someone else. He decided it was better to learn how to be respectful.
Yeah, so the answer is if you're the boss, you can do whatever you want, and there's
Yeah.
really no repercussions
This
for you.
guy
I
acted
think that
insane.
story went exactly the way he said it.
Yeah.
I think he was very calm and reasonable the entire time, and the employee was very disrespectful the entire time.
It was wrong the way he was sent to jail after that.
Let's read what Thomas Leonard
I do
does.
really want to know what the crime was and when it occurred.
Yeah, me too. He was a former instructor of computer science at Slippery Rock University, which I've never heard of.
At Slippery Rock.
That
Don't
sounds
look it
like
up.
yeah, that doesn't sound real.
I went to Slippery Rock, so
Oh yeah, well, it's a really good school. What this guy? I don't know. Cora's so weird. I could just see on his profile that like last week he answered a question. I just ate 2 bearing balls that were made of iron. Is it dangerous? And he said, no, not at all. Not
guy just
likely they were
likes
I
iron.
wouldn't have guessed that.
He says they're not iron though. He says steel is more likely. Either way, they will pass right through. You'll poop them out in a day or two.
Yeah, you'll poop those out.
All right. Yeah. So fuck that guy, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what this question was about.
yeah, that's the thing. The question was not related to that. He just told
No.
I mean, I guess it's related. The boss always wins is his story.
Yeah, but he didn't answer the
I
thing
guess
about
they-
the city.
Yeah, this is an open.
He
city.
didn't address the concerns of the free city for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, there's over 100 answers to this question I didn't see.
Oh
my
Which
God.
wait to the open city one?
Yeah.
Let's read all
hell
100.
yes.
Okay, number 1. I would say, 1, given your clumsy syntax, I agree with you. You don't need anybody's permission for nothing, but you do need my permission for certain work activities.
Okay.
2, what is an open city and how is that relevant? Thank you.
Okay.
If you don't want to follow work rules, I'm sure we can adjust your appointment status.
And now
Think
I'm mad
about
that I
it.
asked about the open city.
Yeah,
now that I'm
Bill's just
siding
like
with
this
this
guy.
guy.
Jeremy's getting boss pilled right now.
All right, well, that's enough of this question. Here's another work situation. I threw my coffee at an employee because the order was wrong.
My God,
I threw my.
this is Tom Leonard again, dude. This is where he went to jail.
I'm amazed at your recall of these names.
Oh, I'm stowing
just-
away the names.
he just knows
I
Tom
love
Leonard,
I
man.
love names. Dude.
As soon as they say it, it's right out my head.
Yeah.
It's gone. They say it. They're not saying it. I'm
They're
reading it. You fool. I threw my coffee at an employee because the order was wrong and then he punched me. He had been sent to the hospital for burns, but now his family and I want to sue. How can we approach this?
His family and I want to sue.
My family and I want to sue.
Oh.
He wants to. Okay, so this guy.
This guy burned a guy, sent him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Got
But he
self-defense
punched him.
and wants to sue him.
Also,
If you
let
start
me
with
be
the
clear.
burn.
This guy is a goose, I think. The guy who asked this question.
Well, if it's a goose, anything goes.
He is a vile, disgusting bird.
We've already settled this. You can be punched, my friend.
Would it be cruel to put a worm on a hook or coffee on a McDonald's employee's face?
That is so. This is crazy. If
Yeah.
this is real. This is like some of those posts.
Who knows?
Am I the asshole? Where you're like, Yeah.
It's very possibly fake.
What did you think we were going to say? You can't burn a man
I
and
killed
then
someone.
sue him.
Am I the asshole? I'm worried
is
I might be
where
the
he
asshole
is.
because I killed someone.
He attacked this man for bringing him the wrong coffee order.
Yeah.
Are you going to sue him for the wrong coffee? That's the only thing you could sue him for.
Yeah.
Is that if
The
you
wrong
if
coffee order?
if like
I don't
if you
know
had
about
this insured
Not
at
a lawyer,
certain
but
level once you attack him, you can't sue him for punching you, man.
I can't wait till this podcast starts giving legal advice. It's like, yeah, by the way, you can sue for the wrong coffee order. That's
we're gonna get someone in trouble.
That's a contract.
You enter into a contract when you tell them your name and coffee order.
You said
Yeah.
double shot. They gave you a single shot. That is a breach.
That's a breach of contract.
Well, you can sue for anything.
It's true.
You just won't win.
At this juncture, feel free to throw the coffee back at their face.
What if they punch you?
Well,
That's
can
when it's
sue.
time
That's
to
when
speak
you
to your
sue.
lawyer.
take it to the books.
My family and I want to sue. So his family is trying to talk him into suing the
Yeah.
Without
the employee he assaulted.
So this is probably a troll, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know because people are dumb.
Dude.
No, this
Sometimes
sounds real
this-
to me.
This is I'm giving it 80% fake actually. But
80%?
I think the fact that there's a 20%
think
doubt
you're
in my
right.
mind, the fact that I think it's possible that it's real.
Also, like most trolls are funnier than this, or not funnier, but they try harder.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, I don't. Maybe not.
This
is-
sounds real to me.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and without sounding closed-minded or maybe somewhat racially coded, I can see a whole Italian family behind this getting really into suing the McDonald's
Sorry,
employee
sure.
who crossed you.
Somewhat racially coded. You're like, I don't know if this is somewhat anti-Italian, but it's fucking Italian.
I just want to be clear. I do think it's real because it's probably Italian.
Without sounding like maybe a little ignorant, I could spot these people out of a lineup if you put them in front of me.
Let's just say I know what kind of pasta they're eating. The kind of people who call sauce gravy, if you get what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
It's gonna stop being cool to make fun of Italian people in like 2 years.
Yeah,
and
I'm waiting to see it.
We're gonna be canceled.
I have to change my whole life.
Well, Dennis Manning says, you do know people can countersue, right? Which is probably what they will do if you try to sue them. In fact, they'll probably sue you even if you decide not to sue them. What do you think has a stronger case? The victim of a screaming Karen? How do you know it's a Karen? Who caused them to get severe burns?
they
If you-
threw
if
coffee
you
at
throw
someone for
coffee,
getting the
it's
wrong
a-
order. That's
that's
a
a
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, maybe
That's
you're
Karen
right.
move.
That's a form of Karenry.
I don't think you should assume. I think it could be a man.
Someone who's studied at the Council of Karen.
Oh, I wasn't gendering that Karen.
I think it's an Italian man. Fair enough. Karen is gender neutral.
His name is Carino. It's a beautiful country.
I'm just astounded if this is real that there's anyone who would throw coffee on someone. That is so wild to me. Like,
Yeah.
the thought of doing it, like
Throwing
it's already
coffee.
crazy, like to me to throw water on someone.
Yeah.
I think that's wild. But coffee, first of all, I would drink it. It's nice. Second of all, it's
the
really
order is wrong.
you're gonna fucking burn them.
Yeah, it's clearly bad.
It's like a really high level attack. That's like worse than taking a swinging a punch for sure.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
much the same as when you would storm a castle and they would drop the boiling
right.
pitch on you through the grates.
My dumb brain was about to be like, it's similar to a spell. You're like, it's not a punch. I was like, yes, it's like a magic.
Right, he's gonna medieval times
He
where they
has
had spells.
AoE. Yeah.
It is similar
Game
to
of
a spell.
Thrones.
Yeah, I wonder if you could pour coffee on people over the wall. I guess it would be too expensive to boil that much coffee at that time.
If I'm attacked by a goose, can I throw coffee at them?
You probably could.
You can do whatever you want to a goose. It doesn't matter.
They don't have,
To a
but
fish,
to
you
be
can't.
clear, I do think it's possible to be cruel to a goose. You can't swing them by their neck and then throw them on the ground.
Think about it. 2 large hands come from above and grab you by the neck. You're about to bite into a juicy steak.
It would be wrong to do a full God of War cutscene to a goose.
This guy's name, by the way, Dennis Manning. I just want to say the guy who answered this guy who was like, "You shouldn't do this. You can't sue because blah 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 blah."
Right.
He also has 40,000 followers on Quora.
Wow.
And he has a very long Quora bio. It's
Dennis
like-
will fight for you.
Is Dennis a lawyer?
He's an occasional superhero, apparently.
Okay.
Read lawyer.
Do you want me to read some of his bio? It's not like
Do you think he's a public defender? And that's
No, I
he's-
certainly do
okay.
not. I think that he is what most Americans seem to hate these days.
Oh,
White,
Okay.
straight, laid-back Christian male with centrist views. I work a blue-collar job. I'm a single dad. One kid is a disabled adult, the other an enabled tween. I've been married twice and divorced twice.
Most Americans seem to hate that these days.
I'm the kind of guy that wives seem to hate these days.
He's just like, yeah, I'm
With
a
wife
loser.
culture, what it is.
Sorry, liberals. I'm a white guy and my wife hates me. By the way, I'm one of the directors of a group called Heroes for Kids.
Okay, well that's. I mean, look, if he's doing charity, we'll take that.
We'll take that.
We'll take that. Do
He does
that.
also
I'm
say
not like
facts don't
most
care
Do
about your
more of that.
feelings.
Just
Yeah.
stop saying like your like culture hates you.
Yeah, we
wanna
love
hear
you, son.
The least surprising thing ever about this man, he enjoys a good debate.
Yeah.
I did know that about him.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that question.
And that's
I think I knew he liked to debate at what every American seems. I think at the word seems. I didn't even need to hear to hate to know how that sentence was going.
what a loser. He is subscribed to the Quora space Biden's Lies.
He's a
That's all
real
his face.
centrist, dude. Real centrist
It's
views.
such a funny thing
he's
for a Quora
against
to be
lies.
called. Everything
I'm against
Republican.
lies.
John's political corner. Okay. There's a lot of other answers to this, but nothing really that interesting.
Was that you shooting lies?
Yeah, if I see
Okay.
lies, it's on site.
we have
There's a big delay after you hit the
I know that.
So you,
I haven't gotten around
you
to
have to
fixing
anticipate
this.
the timing, so that's a tough timing to hit.
Nonetheless, the moo.
Yeah, that was
Which we
like
wouldn't
if a
even be
cow
bringing up.
said-
Wait, where's the moo?
Hold
All right,
on.
wait. Say when you press it.
Hold on. I gotta go get it up.
So this is why it takes a while.
Right, so the thing is, like, if you were like, "Oh, I ate so much, I feel like a cow," I'd be like, "Oh, a cow." I'm getting good at this. I'm getting low key.
Can you say when
smooth
for the
with it.
podcast listeners? Can you say when you click it?
Yeah. Oh, if you said you were a cow, I click it now. That kind of reminds me of. And it's seamless, and it's like
so
I'm
funny.
queuing up a cow behind me.
That's very funny. To
If
me.
you were going to tap a real cow, that's how long it would take. It's not going to be instant.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like turning a crank that slowly makes more cow noise, and you have to get it going to a certain RPM before it gets the cow noise.
You got to scrape it off the
it
bottom.
sounds like you're asking a real cow to do a moo,
Yeah, I
and
know
he's
a cow.
patient.
Yeah, he's smart, but it takes him a little while.
It takes
Yeah.
mo. He's
He's not that smart.
Yeah,
he's-
he knows the word.
He knows English.
I mean, I don't-
process.
Yeah.
it.
I don't want to say this, but he's Italian.
moo.
Moo.
Yeah. When I was watching The Sopranos, I kept doing this bit that our cat was becoming Italian and saying meow.
That's funny.
It's a good
Jeremy,
cat bit.
that's funny.
We love a good bit you do at home. Mm-hmm. We actually have 2 questions left. I'm sorry. I thought we only had 1 left. This is in our miscellaneous section. Do we have a theme song
If you
for
don't
that?
fit in our 12 extremely loose sections, you can go here in miscellaneous.
I did
Yeah.
not.
What's up?
I saw him hit the cow. I had time to say I did not, and then pause, and then it still took a second. I did not realize that these other ones had sections.
They kind of do.
I
It's
was gonna
very
say, yeah.
rigidly organized.
You know, we've
I
never
feel like-
said it.
I'm trying to be professional here.
Do you actually have 12 sections?
I'm going to read them for you.
Okay.
Okay. They're all horribly named. Number 1, the Quoker, which is our incel and manosphere section.
And manosphere?
Manosphere? Like men's?
Oh, mano.
Because a
men's
lot of
rights.
Quora stuff are like, what's the most badass thing a boy ever did in school?
Right, right,
Yeah.
Or like,
right.
what's 20 things guys need to know?
Yeah, get the guys.
Yeah.
Man talk. Yeah.
Which are usually my favorite ones because it's a lot of like, guys need to know it's important to be nice to a lady. Number 2, Quora Gone Wild. That's our animal segment. We did that today.
Right.
I don't think I said it. That's the moo.
Even when the noise starts, it still takes a little while.
Then we have our religion segment, Forbidden Fruit.
Nice.
Then we have this one's just called Forbidden Knowledge because there's a Quora sub community called Forbidden Knowledge and we're not allowed to know about it.
Okay.
Then we have Quora Romance.
Okay.
Then we have Quora MD.
I don't have a doctor one.
Then we have our politics one, the quiz course.
Fucking Killing Spree.
Then we have historical teachings.
Well, if you get a lot of questions right in a row on a quiz, that's like a killing spree.
Yeah. Then we have quaranting. Do you want to guess what quaranting is?
Is it parenting?
Yes,
You
it's
got
parenting
it.
by Quora.
And then we have the Quark Place, which is the workplace, and then we have
Quark Place.
miscellaneous.
Yeah. Did you say any of these when we were doing the earlier
I
questions?
might have said the Quark Place, and it might have sounded like gibberish.
You did say the quirk place.
And you might have thought Jeremy's having a stroke.
I do remember the quirk place. I
And
was like, oh yeah,
yeah.
the quirk place. Okay, that's
and
good.
we have a bus crashing, but I've been told not to play it anymore because it scares people who listen to the show in traffic.
Yeah, that's fair.
Although, full warning, this is the bus crashing.
Warning.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It keeps
do
going
not-
for a while, too.
The tires.
It's still going.
The tires squealing. Wow.
It's still going.
That's the thing
There
is,
were
it's
a lot of deaths.
I have found a lot of car crashing sound effects, and this would probably be the best one I've ever found.
I've never heard the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it off the board, honestly.
Don't play it again.
Hey,
Yeah.
I hope you didn't crash your car during that.
I am blown away by how long that is.
Okay, we have one more.
Yeah. but
Finish
now
strong.
I can't find it now. Where'd it go? Oh. What do old people do?
What do old people do?
What do old people do? Oh, this is what do old people do all day?
Oh, I think
I don't mind
famously-
this question. I
Yeah.
think this is someone who's like
What do
just
old people do all
actually
day?
curious and hasn't spent time with an elderly person before.
It
It's
was
not up
funnier
there-
to me
yeah.
when I read it as what do old people do, but then I clicked on it and we had copied it into our document wrong, and now it's not as funny.
Yeah. Well, it's I
Yeah.
think there will be some good answers.
It sounded
I think it's
originally.
open-ended, yeah.
It sounded originally like did electricity change, which was it's the gold standard for Quora nonsense questions.
Did electricity?
We do have another. I'm going to read one real quick. What is it? Oh, here it is. This is just a nonsense question someone sent in. I have been of my son coming home from prison. What does this mean? Period.
I have been of my son.
I have
coming
been
home
of my son. This is in the Bible.
I have been of my son coming home from prison.
Okay, I've been of my son coming home from prison. What do I do? Well, you probably just want to take your son and go.
But Saul found that he had been of his son during prison, and in this sense, he knew it was time for sacrifice.
I think I'm Christian now.
That's right. That's what this episode's all been about.
Things are possible.
Salam.
Let's read this last Quora.
Yeah,
what do you
wait,
guys think
okay,
old
so
people
the-
do all day?
Oh, Fox News. They watch Fox News.
That's actually true.
It's by the data, true. By the numbers. Also, you've seen it. You've seen it in your day to day. You know
Yeah.
it to be true.
That's not true. That's impossible.
They see other stuff. Other than that, a lot of old people get into birding. Okay, I called it bird watching on my other podcast. Was corrected. It's birding.
I
That's
think
where
birding
you
is neat.
write. Yeah, especially if you're watching a goose, and then
Yeah.
you're asking when it's okay to hit.
But you get the binoculars. You
Yeah.
got the distance.
Other than that, so I think here's the thing: is
Okay.
in this country, there's a big pressure to work until you die financially because you were not taken care
Yes.
of with your needs
Right.
Yes.
through Social Security.
Right.
And you probably
Killing spree.
most people do not have the savings to just straight up retire. But on the other hand, the data's in on that. Like, if you just stop doing anything and
Yeah.
are just like, I'm 80, I'll see what happens, but you don't get like a hobby related into, a lot of people are just like, that's how you die.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Is you have nothing going on. Your
You need to
your
get a
body's
Nintendo
like, all right.
Switch and
Yeah.
play little puzzle games.
Yeah, you got to
Right.
become a streamer.
You got to become one of those Animal Crossing grandmas.
Oh,
You know
is
what I'm
that a
talking
big
about?
thing?
Right.
You know how grandmas be loving Animal Crossing?
Yeah,
I think-
grandmas do be loving it.
Look, here's a pitch for if you need something to do. Start a bridge stream.
Yeah.
You guys know about bridge?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
That
about
shit.
Bridge.
The rules. I've read the rules to bridge 1 million times. I don't know a single fucking thing about how to play that game. I guarantee you, there would be a very popular bridge
Yeah,
stream.
I think so.
If you had like one of those, there are people who like coach bridge. They're like,
that true?
They're like, yeah.
This
They're
is
like
my version of like when people find out there's Fortnite coaches or whatever.
Dude, bridge is a big friggin' busy, dude. It's a big business.
Is it just a skill game or is it like a card random game? It's like solitaire?
My only understanding of it is that it's a trick-taking game, and there's like you bet the number of tricks that you think you can get. You know a trick-taking game?
I
know a trick running game, and it's in the street with these hoes.
I feel like if our question is what
that
is
was very
bridge?
convincing that you know that.
Thank you.
Trick-taking game is like you lead a particular suit of card, and if you have the highest of that suit, you get it. I think bridge is one of those. But also, tell me, pop off in the friggin' comments.
I'm looking up what is bridge on our favorite question
bridge
website.
Bridge is wild.
Quora.com.
I guarantee this is the next big thing in card gaming streaming.
Bridge?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Take it to the bank, dude.
I looked up what is bridge on Quora, and all of the answers are being rude.
Oh, come on.
A structure facilitating a communication round for
get across a river. You fucking
shut the fuck up.
Get the hell out of here.
I always
What do old people do all day?
I always like it when old people get into sex. You hear about that in nursing homes. They just
Get into it?
They just like as a hobby, just all start.
Old people are learning about sex.
Sex?
They get into sex. They find it in the drawer
What
and
are you up
have
to
some.
these days? Oh, I'm actually getting really into sex.
I'm getting railed out and giving it right back. And then it's like high school again. They all start competing over lovers and stuff. I think that's great.
My grandpa passed away 2 years ago now. My grandma lives in an apartment building with all old people. And she was saying that my high school friend's grandpa lives there, and he's like a big hottie because he can still drive. And that's like the number one. They're like, he can drive.
And then everyone who works there is like, when are we going to stop this guy from driving?
Yeah, he's like, getting his dick wet because he can drive, which is pretty cool.
Do you think he's getting senior roadhead? I bet. More than any other demographic of people, there's senior roadhead.
At like 5 miles per hour.
It's as cool to drive when you're 75 as it is when you're 16.
Hell yeah.
It's like a parabola.
It's a bell curve.
Yeah.
Or the opposite. Yeah.
Well, next time you see an old man driving alone in Long Island, New York, keep an eye out, listeners.
Does he not have his eyes on the road? You ever ask yourself why?
That's why they drive so slow.
Yeah, it's because they're all getting roadhead. I'm just gonna read this.
Heavens
answer.
to Betsy.
All right. All right.
I'm running across the stage.
Vocalization of an old man getting head while driving. Heavens to Betsy.
That's what they sound like, though.
This is equally dangerous as the bus crash to people in their cars.
Tell me, spot the lie.
Oh, good heavens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say a joke about dentures. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a reason they call you the Trust Buster.
That doesn't even make sense.
Is he
He's getting
a
it
blowjob from Teddy Roosevelt?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Oh, you speak softly and carry a big stick.
He sucks the trust right out of you.
You bull moose.
He's a very fraught man. He's
Teddy?
full of implication. Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Ted.
Big Teddy.
Well, he's not around to drive, though, and I don't know how much he was driving back then.
Yeah, I think he's
kind of
dead.
before car
Well, he
culture.
wasn't driving in this situation.
Sometimes I'm just goofing around.
He's
Passenger.
operating a stick, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he was doing globalism to the south.
That's true, yes.
The Philippines.
He was
I saw you looking for the
canal,
Poland,
right?
not getting it.
Panama Canal.
He did do the Panama Canal. I
Cuba?
also said
You got him.
globalism like I'm a fucking
Globalist.
Alex Jones.
He started globalism.
He's doing globalism.
I'm so tired.
He offshored the Ford Motor Company.
This is what happens when we hit over an hour on the Quora podcast.
It's a steep drop off. All right,
Hit
so
the car crash.
read some of these old people questions.
I live in assisted living because I can't walk. From what I've seen all the time, I have been there. Hundreds of residents, they eat, shit, sleep, and watch TV. I would die of horror if I was like that. I am 88, very high functioning, take care of 100% of my personal affairs, work same 2 jobs I love, going into 52nd year in 15 years of
Jobs.
as a power of
I
attorney.
work 2 jobs?
At 88.
I can't walk. I'm 88 and I work 2 jobs.
And shitting on other people.
Good God.
This is again just like if I stop doing this, I will perish. This is a fear of slowing down.
I take care of my kitty, do beautiful artwork, which will be selling shortly, keep current with world events, take care of my studio apartment, have lots of hobbies, read about 2 books a week.
Damn, son. Eye on the prize.
Just finished 6 years of online college courses, always learn something new daily, and later around 9 p.m. I sit down and watch Netflix. Oh, you don't watch TV, though? You watch Netflix?
I'm more into streaming.
Hey.
I'm a super achiever and push myself to be normal and do all 30-year-old things.
Hey.
Sorry, what's up? Tell your bit. Do it.
She seems nice. I like her.
This person's living a fulfilling life, and we
think-
need to trash them.
I don't like her.
think that it's unfortunate she has to work 2 jobs. I think that she maybe she doesn't have to.
A little
think she-
condescending
I think
to
she
the
wants
other
to, or-
88-year-old people.
I hope that she doesn't have to. That's what I hope about
Yeah,
this.
she just
this
likes
woman.
it.
I think the one thing that I could say for sure is, especially if you move into an assisted living home, your life as you get older becomes more and more like it was in school. Like you get more of a group confrontational dynamic happening than you
Yeah.
do in your adult life.
Well, there's definitely like forced interactions.
Yeah.
You can always go see your friend like very easily, like those types of things that are around at school and in college and stuff. But
Assisted living is like the high school of elderly people.
yeah,
It allows you to be a Kramer of
I think it's like
sorts.
freshman year just over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like freshman year of college.
Especially if you're always learning.
Yeah, and people keep moving away to other schools,
Yeah.
a.k.a. the
The
afterlife.
freaking graveyard. Preach, King.
That happens in college too, though.
That's true.
People move to the
true.
graveyard.
Yeah,
People do be dying.
they move to the graveyard.
At any point, you can move to the graveyard.
Anyway, should we read more of these questions, these answers?
If you got a good one.
One guy says,
I'm actually going to leave. I know this is my apartment.
One guy says, I'm 66. Is that old? Let me look it up. And then he goes on a long rant about how it turns out he's old. He
They
said,
all have like a one-liner to open up.
Yeah.
Oh, let me check my watch and see how old I am.
It would appear I am old, so I get to answer this question. I woke up at 2:30 this
would
morning as
appear.
usual and had to pee. Afterwards, I went back to bed, and though I usually can go back to
God,
sleep, I
shut the
remained awake.
fuck
So I got up. This is terrible.
Oh my god.
We don't care.
I'm not
You're done.
I know I am talking to you, Jeremy, but I'm talking to the answer here. I'm literally saying it to you, but I'm saying it through the computer to the man who said I woke up
Eugene
and
Allen.
peed in the middle of the night.
66, also, like, that's not even that old.
Yeah, it's not. You could do more than pee in this situation.
Yeah. Dorothy Nelson says, as a 93-year-old, I do enjoy bird watching and walking a mile each morning.
Bird watching.
93 on the internet's impressive.
Sorry, what was her name? Ethel?
Dorothy Nelson.
Okay,
Dorothy.
wasn't close. I just
just
heard
guessed
old
the
person. I heard an old person. Sorry, it's birding. The joke is over now.
This is the
joke
only
is
question
birding.
she's ever answered on Quora.
I fight a goose every day.
Every day I fight a goose.
From stripping the life from its avian jaws, I
gonna give her an
regain
upvote.
mine.
She walks a mile. She drives her Suburban. Driving at 93. Damn. Reading and writing books for children. She's writing books as well as composing music.
If you don't do 100 things over 80, you're going to die. They're going to take the life out of you. You got to start fucking. You got to start working.
dude.
You got to start... birds are involved. Do something with birds.
I wonder if that's like writing music like I write music.
Do you
Where,
write
like,
music?
Not really.
No.
I think you have good music.
Yeah, but I like it like so every so often.
Sure.
I do my little jingles.
They're fun.
They're fun.
my
They're fun. I do my little jingles.
You're your own worst bully, Phil. You don't have to be like this. We love your jingles.
Yeah. Phil, this is an intervention. You were trying to say a little joke, but we turned it into a self-love.
When are you going to
This is
believe
a
in your
This is
music,
a lesson
Phil?
in kindness. I thought you hit the cow.
Me too.
I hit
We're still
Killing
waiting for
Spree,
it.
but it was too quiet.
Killing spree.
I thought it was the gun.
One person-
Kindness spree.
I had the table of contents thing out, and I put it away, and that's a huge mistake.
One person says, meet my mommy. She has crossed 55 this year. And I'm
That's
seeing
not
her
old.
growing old. Just so grim.
Sorry. This is an answer to
What do old people
What do
do all
old
day?
people
And she
do?
said, my mommy is 55 this year.
meet my mommy.
Meet my mommy.
Meet my mommy.
She has crossed 55 this year, and I am seeing her growing old, and this is exactly how her days look like. Yes, exactly, because I have never seen never seen living a day randomly, doing some random things. That's one sentence.
Won't
Wow,
you
this
meet
is a
my mommy?
This is
This is a child.
13, 14, we think 13-year-old?
I always get really
let's find
really
out.
upset when adults call their mom their mommy. I don't like it.
No, she is
Would
in
you like
college.
to
She's
meet
out
my
of
father
college.
and my mommy?
She might be older than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
She graduated. Oh no, actually no. She graduated
Well,
college in like a few years ago. She's in her 20s.
Her mommy seems very nice.
You should meet her mommy.
I would love to.
She's 55 and she does, she goes to work.
She takes a bath every morning.
She reads 2 books a week.
My friend Ben takes a bath every day.
She's got a picture of her.
55 is not.
55. Everyone on this
this-
podcast right now is 55.
I'm 53.
I'm 55 years old.
I just found out about Sussy Baka last week.
And you
tried
aged 20 years because of it.
I tried to click the button before, but I don't know.
You aged based on when you find out about Sussy Baka. If it was within the first few weeks, it doesn't really affect you, but
It's in the inherent curse of the inherent curse of the word is by finding you become more sus and in addition Baka.
Oh, it's so silly.
Sussy Baka.
It sounds so dumb.
That's enough, Jeremy.
okay.
Put it away.
All right.
Put away
I'm done.
Sussy Baka.
Okay. All right.
Let's close out the show.
Yeah. Let's ask Aquara.
I think that's also the first time I ever have said out loud Sussy Baka.
How did it feel?
I hated it.
It feels really wrong. I don't like
It's not a
saying
good
it.
one.
I loathed it.
It makes me really uncomfortable.
It was one of the worst things I've ever done.
Phonetically, it's a car wreck, I would say. We all said out loud what the question at the end was going to be. Phil?
Yeah. Do you remember?
Dinosaurs.
It was what's the closest?
What
thing to a
animal's close to the dinosaur? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So,
Let me ask it.
out of all animals, what is closest to the
So you
dinosaur?
want to like core it up a bit?
Yeah, that sounds like
Out of all the animals,
Oh, you got
I think that is already quarried up.
yeah.
which one?
Out of all animals, which is closest to the dinosaur?
Yeah, I
Because
think
you're going to
that's-
get at least one motherfucker who's like, the dinosaur is.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of all living animals.
Yeah.
How about that?
Out of all
out
living
of all
animals.
animals alive today, all non-extinct animals, all
Oh yeah. that's
there's a
good
word
idea.
for non-extinct that I do not know.
Surviving?
Extant? Is that the word?
Existing?
Probably shouldn't say that word on Quora. I don't think anybody, even if it is correct.
You gotta
think this
talk
is fine.
the lingua franca. You have to say out of all. You have to make the
Out of
question
all
dumber than it
animals-
should be. Yeah.
Out of all animals alive today, which is closest to the dinosaur?
That's great.
You could put this in the thesaurus. It's
Whoever
smart.
thought of this question is so good at Quora.
All right,
Someone
tag.
did. Quora is saying that there is a very similar question that has 2 answers.
Okay.
Do
What's
we
the
care?
similar question?
Which animal is the closest to be related to dinosaurs that are alive today?
See, this
No,
is
that's
what
a
I mean.
horrible question.
That is amazing how it is
It's
so much more
worse.
Quora'd up than ours.
Oh my God.
We tried to make ours bad, and we
my
couldn't even
God.
come close.
Back to the drawing board. We're
How
not
did they
done yet. here.
manage it? How did they manage to do that with the same words?
Which
it's
animal
the same
is the
words.
closest to be related to dinosaurs that are alive today?
It's so close to what we said and so far away from
Yeah.
being good.
awful.
Good for them.
I was walking my dog and wondering what is closest to the dinosaurs
You want me
that
to
we have
edit it?
around.
Do you want me to add more to it? I think
Is
we
it
should
gonna
keep it
change?
as is.
Yeah, it's good. It's fine.
That's perfect.
And hey, if you're listening and you want to give an answer, scrambled eggs is your
Scrambled
keyword.
eggs.
Don't.
you can
try
even
to trick
say
us. It's not
scrambled dinosaur eggs.
Cool. Oh.
This week you can say scrambled dinosaur.
Other weeks, no, don't do it.
Otherwise, it's like a take only photos, leave only footprints kind of situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You
got
go
you.
hiking. Okay, and
Oh, hiking. Okay. I was very lost, but I was not.
I
gonna
said
say
it
anything.
wrong.
As
It's-
the guest, I was going to just.
The question is asked.
leave only footprints, take only memories.
Through God, all things are possible.
Right.
Praise be to He. Let's get it. Phil, thank you so much for coming on Quora. It's the number one show for Quora and for God. Salam. Where can our listeners find you and all your exciting works, and what are you up to? And let's talk about it.
Well, thank you for having me. I don't know what necessarily. Phil Jamesson. You know, there's 2 S's in my last name. That's the thing. It's Jamesson. And then if you go to pretty much any website and put a slash and then type my name
Yeah.
in, you'll find
That's your account.
there. Yeah.
What's your? Let's plug the Monkey Show, huh?
The Hamlet
yeah, the
Factory.
Hamlet
we never said the
Factory.
name of it, which
The
is kind of funny.
Hamlet Factory.
Go check
I
it
couldn't
out.
remember the name of it. And I was like, you
can-
should say this again.
They're all on YouTube and
On HBO Max, which famously is forever.
Is-
So if something's
it's-
on HBO Max,
they said
It's set in
this is
stone.
a big deal because it's forever.
yeah.
Just like all things on the internet. Thank you very
That's
much
really
for
cool.
having me, guys. I had
Thanks
a good
for
time.
coming on.
Yeah. I know we had some difficulty scheduling it in November. We couldn't line up our schedules. And then in December, second time, I got a fever of 102.3 the night before. So the third time I was like, I'm not going to miss this no matter what happens. And wouldn't you know it, an hour before the podcast.
Oh, I never recorded it.
Who did I get? Who did I get a call from? But President Barack Obama.
Is that true?
And he said, I want to have you as my second in command
He's
on
not
my
even the
new
president anymore.
streaming site, Obamaflix.
You're replacing Michelle.
Yeah, no, I'm number 2 on this. And,
This is
Congratulations.
and he said, share your location. And I shared my location, and he landed in a helicopter.
That's pretty cool.
And I said, what do we have to do? He said, get in the helicopter. We got to go to a board meeting. And to get you in this company, we're going to give you $10 billion. I said, I can't do that. And he said, what could possibly be more important than that? And I said, friendship.
Wow.
That's so great. Phil, thank you so much.
Yeah. Are you going to do the show at all, or is it over? I mean, like, are you not on the board anymore?
No, he said I had to go right then.
He's back to Michelle.
Yeah, unfortunately. That story is true.
Cool.
But it's
You were
less-
right to
it's-
bring it
it's-
up during plugs.
He had said he went with Adam Conover.
Ah.
Okay, I'm pressing stop.